So just doing a little paper deck tech of Abzan Midrange. Played it tonight at F&M. Been testing it a whole lot online. I'm really happy with the build. I'm trying to kind of go a little bit different way in the sideboard and the main board than what you generally see. Going mid range, I want the split between the aggro, early pressure, and the late game grind and the raw power. Um, this is the main board. All the spells in the main board. We have we have 16 creatures, main board, 3 planeswalkers, 15 non-creature, non-planeswalker spells, it looks like. Or what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Or just 15. Yeah, that's right. Okay, so we have 2 Den Protector. I mean 3 Den Protector, I'm sorry. 3 Fleecemane Lion. So we have 3 very good 2 drops. That'll supplement your early hands that you don't have a Courser, but you have Fleecemane Lions and Thoughtseize. Fleecemane Lion, I feel, is a really good card right now. I mean, it's always been a great card, but his text box is very relevant for a lot of the matches that are hard for just a normal Abzan control, and we don't lose much compared to the control deck by having them main board. And I think it's just a really powerful creature right now. Of course, Den Protectors are always good. You have your 4 coursers, no real explanation needed there. Always good. They help the deck out a lot. 4 Siege Rhinos, obvious. 1 Tassiger, good value creature. 1 Dragon Lord Dramoka, very good in this deck. Um, can very easily take over a game. We have 1 Sorin and 2 Elspeth. They work very well together as planeswalkers. I think everybody pretty much knows what they do and how they're played. See if I can get the glare off of this. You have what happened to my camera? So we have 3 Thoughtseize instead of the full play set in the main. We'll get to the other ones in the board. I think 3 is a good number for the main. You don't want to be drawing them late game all the time. Um, they're generally at their best in the early to mid game. 2 ultimate price. There are some decks that they're bad against game 1, but of course you can pull them out and they're not so much of a liability. Um, Generally, there's a lot of targets in standard right now. A 1 of Dromoka's Command in the main, as opposed to most of the Abzan controls that put them all on the side. I like having the 1 main so we have 1 way to interact with enchantments. And good against any kind of deck that plays burn spells. You can buy it back with your Den Protector, so you have a virtual 4 of technically with the 3 Den Protectors, but an easy, to easily count for 2 if you really need to buy it back with Den Protector. 3 Heroes Downfall, I would suggest not skimping on those. There's a lot of planeswalkers running around, and a lot of decks that have multicolored and monocolored creatures, so it's versatile. 4 Abzan Charm, super powerful card. And it has an awesome text box, so I would always recommend the full play set right now, especially. Um, Powerhouse All Star on the deck, Tragic Arrogance, 2 of. So you may notice there are no Languish in the main board. I think I may put one in the side. I ran it tonight without a Languish and did just fine. 2-1 against Goblins. 1/1/1 against Jeskai with the Narset. Jeskai Ascendancy combo with Narset. And a 2-0 against Jund Elves, if you can believe that. So somebody brewed a deck, and it's just not good against Abzan. We have, so we'll go over the mana base. We run 26 lands. You have 4 Temple of Malady, 4 Temple of Silence, 4 Sandsept Citadel. You've got 4 Wimsept Heath. Those are the old school ones too, man. They've got the good art. I mean, the new art's okay, but it's nothing like the old art. That old art is just incredible. Get that glare off. It's horrible. You got 2 Caves of Koilos. That's the old Apocalypse ones. I like the inking better from the Apocalypse set. Haven't found the Land War Waste yet though. The old school. So those are from M15. 1 Urborg, 1 Mana Confluence. I like the versatility of having this spell. I mean, this land in your opening hand. It can put in a lot of work, and you're not too concerned about losing life against most decks when you have this very, very versatile land card. So just a 1-of is fine, you know. And of course, Urborg can turn into a black producer without taking life. 3 forests, 1 plains is a good split for this deck. We're not playing Nissa, so we're not worried about having a bunch of forests to fetch up. And we only play Tragic Arrogance and Elspeth as the only cards with double white. So that's why I do the 3-1 split. So we'll go to the sideboard. And you can see it right there. So we have 2 Drowns. Let me get a pointer. Use a screwdriver. So you have 2 Drowns, 1 Erishan Cleric, 2 Dromoka's Command, 1 Unravel the Aether, 1 Glare of Heresy, 1 Gaia's Revenge, 1 Arbor Colossus, which you know what that's there for. It's to short up the matches against all these dragon decks running around, and the Green Red of Devotion and stuff like that. So it's actually good against Blue Red Thopters too. The Ensoul Artifact deck, because they can't really kill. I mean, they can't kill it with anything, with 1 spell or whatever. So he shuts down their deck pretty good if you get him in play. 2 Duress, 1 Thoughtseize. You bring in your Duress and board out your Thoughtseize against like Mono Red and stuff like that, where you want to strip their spells but not take damage. The 1-off Thoughtseize. So whenever you play against control, you can go up to a full 6 on hand disruption, which is really good against them. It's really hard for them to deal with. 1 Infinite Obliteration. Been a very good card so far. It only comes in against a certain number of decks or in certain situations. But when you use it correctly, it definitely makes the game very good for us, for the Abzan deck. 1 Self-Inflicted Wound, and a card I'm probably going to cut and change out with something different. I think that'll be my flex spot, where I can just bring in whenever I need to bring in for whatever the meta looks like, wherever I'm playing. So it's a Feed the Clan. You know, that's just a general basic life gain card. Gain 5 for 2 mana, or gain 10 if I've got a big fatty in play. So, I think it's very well rounded now. I think this is the build that I'm going to keep playing, testing. Maybe make changes to it as I go along. Maybe I find something better, or I get tired of how something's performing in the deck. But overall, it's a great deck, and it's been doing really good online. Not taking very many losses, rarely losing matches overall. So I think it's a great deck to play right now because it has a good shot at beating Abzan aggro, and it can run with the Abzan control deck. It's better than Abzan control against the blue-black and Esper Dragons decks. Tragic Arrogance makes it very good against devotion strategies. Elves, stuff like that. And it's actually really good so far against the goblins that play the Obelisk of Urds and the Hall of Triumphs. So then you have the Fleece Mains and a little bit more of a early pressure game going on with Fleece Mains and Den Protectors against like the tutelage decks. Because Abzan Control, if you don't have enough hand disruption, can have trouble killing the tutelage decks before they mill you out. Alright, so cool deck, and I'll gonna keep on testing, see what I come up with.